Have you ever wondered what happens to a hero after the credits roll? After the final monster is slain, the last alien artifact destroyed, and the galaxy is saved. For Isaac Clarke, the engineer who survived the horrors aboard the USG Ishimura and fought the necromorph plague across the stars, happily ever after was never going to be a quiet retirement. No! For a man whose mind has been twisted and reshaped by alien markers, whose hands have rebuilt plasma cutters from scrap to survive, the next logical step isn't rest, it's creation. Imagine this. A sprawling metropolis, not on Earth, but on a newly terraformed moon, orbiting a distant, quiet star. This isn't just any city. This is Clarke's Landing. A city for 500,000 souls, designed and built from the ground up by Isaac Clarke himself. A city in his image. But what does that even mean? A city built by a traumatized engineer. Is it a utopia of efficiency and safety, or a reflection of a mind forever scarred? Let's take a deep dive into the blueprint of a hero's grand, and perhaps terrifying, final project. First, let's talk about the architecture. Forget sprawling parks and picturesque, winding roads. Clarke's Landing is a marvel of brutalist efficiency and industrial design. The skyline is dominated by towering, angular residential blocks, interconnected by a network of suspended, airtight. Think of the Ishimura's engineering decks, but clean, new, and purpose-built for living, not mining. The entire city is a single, interconnected megastructure. Why? Because Isaac knows the dangers of the unknown. In his city, you can travel from your apartment to your workplace, to the hydroponic farms, to the recreation centers, all without ever setting foot on the outside. It's a city designed to be locked down, sectioned off, and purged if necessary. Every hallway is a potential choke point. Every door is a blast door. It's a city built on the principle of strategic dismantling. Not just for monsters, but for urban planning itself. The materials used are all locally sourced and processed on-site. Asteroids are dragged from a nearby belt and smelted down in massive, automated foundries that hum day and night. The city literally builds itself, expanding module by module under the watchful eye of a central AI that Isaac, of course, built from scratch. He calls it Ellie. This AI manages everything from atmospheric processing to waste recycling. Nothing is wasted. Every piece of scrap, every discarded component is fed back into the system. It's the ultimate expression of Isaac's engineering genius, a closed-loop system of perpetual creation and recycling. Now, who would live in a place like this? The first wave of colonists were, unsurprisingly, engineers, technicians, miners, and their families. People drawn to the promise of a world built on logic, function, and purpose. A world without politicians, without needless bureaucracy. A meritocracy where your skill and contribution are what define you. The city's motto, etched onto the main concourse in glowing blue script, says it all: make us whole. But here, it's not the sinister whisper of the marker. It's a call to community, to shared purpose, to building something better together from the broken pieces of their pasts. Life in Clarke's Landing is structured. Every citizen is issued a standardized RIGA, Resource Integration Gear suit. But these are advanced civilian models. They monitor your health, your location for safety purposes, and serve as your universal interface with the city. Your rig is your key, your wallet, your communication device. It's a symbol of unity and function. The city's lighting is a constant, soft blue-green, the same color as Isaac's own rig display. It's said to be calming and promotes focus. There are no traditional windows looking out into the blackness of space. Instead, high-resolution screens display algorithmically generated landscapes. Serene forests, sunny beaches, bustling cityscapes from old Earth. It's a manufactured piece, a carefully curated reality designed to keep the psychological horrors of the void at bay. The economy is based on contribution. You work, you earn credits, you spend them. But essential services, housing, food from the massive hydroponic space, healthcare are all guaranteed. The goal isn't to get rich. It's to contribute to the whole. Isaac himself isn't a king or a president. He's just lead engineer. You might see him walking the corridors, his iconic engineering suit now clean and polished, checking a power conduit or calibrating a gravity panel. He's more comfortable with a plasma torch in his hand than a scepter. He holds weekly town halls in the main foundry, not a grand hall where he addresses concerns and lays out the next phase of construction. But this rigid, controlled utopia has a dark side, doesn't it? It has to. The city is a reflection of Isaac's mind, and his mind is a labyrinth of trauma. The psychological screening to become a citizen is intense. Any hint of instability, any deep-seated neurosis, and you're denied entry. This isn't for your safety. It's for the city's. Isaac is terrified of what a fractured mind can do, what it can be influenced by. He's seen it firsthand. There are no traditional religions. Instead, there's a deep-seated reverence for science, engineering, and logic. They call it the blueprint. It is a philosophy that believes any problem can be solved with the right tools and the right But some whisper it feels a lot like a new kind of church, with Isaac as its unintentional prophet. Children in schools don't just learn math and history. They learn advanced mechanics and schematic interpretation from a young age. Their favorite bedtime stories are tales of the great engineer who conquered the stars with his wits and his tools. And then there are the whispers, the rumors. Deep in the lowest levels of the city, in the old decks that were built first, some say the lights flicker in strange patterns. They say you can sometimes hear a faint, high-pitched hum that isn't from the machinery. Security patrols in these areas are more heavily armed. The official reason is structural integrity checks. But everyone knows Isaac's history. They know what he's running from. Is he building a sanctuary? Or is he building a cage? Is the city's design meant to keep things out? Or is it to keep something in? Perhaps the most telling detail is the city's core. At the very center of Clarke's Landing, suspended in a magnetic containment field, is a shard. A tiny, inert piece of a marker salvaged from one of his journeys. Isaac believes that by studying it, controlling it, he can understand the enemy and ensure humanity is never threatened again. The city's power, its lifeblood, is rooted through systems that are shielded from the shard's influence, a constant, delicate balancing act. He's using the source of his trauma as the heart of his new world, a daily reminder of the razor's edge between creation and destruction. So, Clarke's Landing is a paradox. It's a city of absolute safety built on a foundation of absolute terror. It's a utopia forged in the fires of one man's personal hell. The citizens live peaceful, productive lives, but they do so in a gilded cage under the constant, benevolent, but ultimately paranoid watch of their creator. Is Isaac Clarke a hero? A visionary? Or is he a madman, simply building a more elaborate, more comfortable version of the Ishimura, destined to repeat the cycle? The final schematic on that is yet to be written. Thank you so much for watching. What do you think? Would you live in Clarke's Landing? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. It's a fascinating concept to think about. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing for more explorations into the worlds of our favorite games. Until next time, stay safe and keep building.